Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of The First Watch. My name is Andrew Coons. I'm the Dungeon Master for our adventures, and we've got a fun one tonight with a little bit of a time skip and lots of different objectives and goals here in the fair city of Floros. But let's popcorn around and meet all of our players. For those of you who might be joining us for the first time, I'm going to throw it to Dana.
I just muted myself, Andrew. God. Hi, I'm Dana. You can find me on the internet at a bit meddlesome on Twitter and on Instagram. I'm playing Artemis Valor, Astamar Wizard, and I'm gonna pass it to Casey.
Yo, what's up, guys? I am KC. I'm playing Uranus, the half-elf bardlock. I'm on Twitter at KC McNeil, and I'm going to throw it to Darby.
Hi, my name is Darby. You can find me on the internet as Chaotic Darby. I was definitely prepared for this.
Always.
And I'm playing your forever lovable, definitely the only artificer in this party, and not anything else. Peony. And I will pass it off to Blake.
Hey, yo, everybody. I'm Blake. You can find me on Twitter at, I think, Blake C. Francis. I think so. If not, you're going to find it somewhere near there. So you search here, you'll get close enough and find it. I play Grokus Darkbringer, a cleric, a dwarf cleric. And yeah, I'm going to pass it to, I guess all we have left is Cheryl. So I'm going to pass it to Cheryl. Take it away.
I mean, you could have skipped me. Hi. I'm Cheryl. You can find me variously on the internet as the Roving Naturalist and running the Nature Check project. And I am playing Pry, the adorable tiefling rogue. Back to you, Andrew.
Thanks, Cheryl. Here at the studio. No. Yeah. It's going to be a great episode. We're going to play our intro sequence here in a second. But before I do that, please remember to like, subscribe, comment on our content. You can also find this show on podcast platforms if you prefer to listen that way. And we also have a spin-off podcast called The Inn at the Edge of Greenwood. We have lots of great back content. The original campaign that has been referenced a few times in this one. Tons of one-shots and mini-series, including a mini-series with several of the fine folks here. Showdown at Crispin Hills. So yeah, if you need something to do while you're doing your studying or mowing your lawn or on the train, go ahead and give us a listen. But without any
Come watch me roll terribly.
What's that?
Come watch me roll terribly in Crispin Hills.
Watch Blake absolutely biff every roll for like
It's
4
really
episodes
bad,
straight.
So bad.
I've played with a lot of people, and the dice luck is remarkable for you. Yeah. But without any further ado, let's get into tonight's episode of The First Watch. The party has been hard at work trying to understand the machinery and the dwarven mines in order to reconstruct the large, you think what is the large drill that the dwarves used to bore deep down into the earth once they had contracted cases of vampirism in order to hide themselves away from the world and not spread the disease any further. Now you all being tasked with the task of rebuilding this machine, however, under dubious contract with a gang lord, you have been able to ignite the flames of the furnace back up and get several of the machines going, and begin the process of figuring out what they do and how to make everything work. Now, within that, the person who's probably had the most the most success. Amazing.
It's Artemis.
God
It is
damn it.
definitely
It's
Artemis.
Artemis.
It's Artemis.
100%
That's the
Artemis.
worst. That's the worst flub I've ever had in my life. I hate that one. The
Freud
most
would be proud.
success is Malachite, played by Joe Frank, who's not here tonight. But he's been able to reconstruct a lot of the machines. I'm not going to be able to cut that one, am I? I got to leave it in. And start to get things working again. In the process of exploring the mines, you also had at one point come across these large aberration creatures that we know as Odiugs. And you stop it with the chat, y'all. You had gone back down exploring into the mines and found a baby Odiug that you all had successfully somewhat endeared yourself to. The chat's killing me. Oh no. And not Pride, Peony. I'm so off right now. I'm so far off. This is off the rails so fast. This is gone. I should start over, but I'm not going to. Peony had kind of somewhat started to tame this creature. Now, you also had sent out word back to Grispin Hills, plug in that other show, to Gull, the half-orc bartender who you had kind of become friends with, and asked him if he could deliver a broken down construct that you had found in the mines in Grispin Hills, knowing that some of the machine parts of the dwarven mines here might be able to be used to get that working up again. Gull had said give him roughly a week, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, you're not sure. But he would begin the process of getting it shipped up to you. So the group has decided, the players have decided to take a little bit of a time jump and montage the next week of work in order to get to that point. And in that week's time, you all level up as well. So what we're going to start with is we're going to go around one at a time and explain to me what you do during the week, and if there's anything that requires a roll or some RP, we'll dive into that. But yeah, we'll kind of deal with this montage to start. Couple of general things. It's actually been a bad weather week here in Floros. There's been a lot of rain. It's starting to get a little chillier. It's getting near the end of summer, and things are turning a little bit, and those winds that whip in off the coast are cold, and with them have come a little bit of storm and whatnot. So not enough to make people, batten down their hatches or anything like that, but it's kind of been a bit of a miserable weather week. So we're going to go around in order of my screens. We're going to start with you, Casey, with Aranis. What has Aranis been doing over this last week?
So I think the first thing Aranis does is, with the blessing of the group, he's going to try to go back to Winmars and get the manual of quickness of action, whatever it's called, and a ring of protection for the 22% off discount. I don't know how much exactly that is, but then he would like to during the day kind of study that for 8 hours for a few days, and then hopefully for a couple of hours in the afternoon just train with Pry a little bit. Swordsmanship. You're muted.
It's because I didn't want to have any more awkward flubs. I was just like, I'll just not say anything.
I have a silent one. Just
Just
kidding.
done. Mute myself.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The manual of quickness of action is going to cost you 1,500 gold pieces before the discount. The ring of
Before the
protection
discount.
is going to be 1,000 before the discount. So just to do some math real quick. Oh no, that's too many zeros. Hold on. That's my bad.
We have 1,000 party gold.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Maybe.
Aranis, you hold it out on us, bro?
What's more important? I am not.
Aranis, we're getting the pockets.
He's willing to give it to you, give both of them to you for a total of 1,600 with your discount.
Oh.
I got it. Okay. All right.
You get one at least.
Can I do just the manual?
That's going to be 990.
9
With the
Oh
discount.
my
That is all of the
sir.
gold. Oh,
Can the manual be used by more than one person?
After about 10 years.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
yeah.
It's either a
Okay.
year or 10 years. I don't remember, but pretty much the same thing for these purposes.
What about the ring of protection? I guess I'll just get that first and come back to the other thing in a while.
Ring of protection is going to cost you 660 by itself.
With the group's blessing, but I don't want to take, everybody's money.
You gotta do what you gotta do. That I mean, and you've wanted it, so I mean, like that. I mean, it's gonna help, probably potentially help a lot of people. So it's as long as you save a little bit for me to do some stuff, but that's fine. I mean, your heart's in the right place about it, so
Yeah, if it's cool with everyone, then definitely. Do I have any items that I would want to sell?
Wimar is always interested in procuring new items that he can either enchant or spiff up or whatnot. So you could offset some of the cost with that.
How much would I get for, say, a staff of bird calls?
Staff of bird calls. What rarity is that item?
That is common.
That is a common magical item. He would give you 50 gold pieces for that.
Okay, I'll give it to him for 50 gold.
Okay. So you have 50 gold credit towards everything.
Yep.
And then getting the ring or the
yes,
the
just the ring. The ring.
So 610 gold pieces then minus that staff of bird calls credit.
Could be worse.
Is that all coming from party gold, or is some of it coming from yours?
I have 15 gold.
Party gold it is.
So 15 of that, yeah. So
let's leave you with
about
5. You can, you can.
600.
I'll take 600 from the party funds.
Okay. You now have a ring of protection +1, but that applies to your AC and all your saving throws.
Nice.
Ooh. Sweet.
And the ring itself is a kind of like it feels like steel, but it's blackened. And it has like a kind of a dark sheen to it at first until it catches the light. And you see almost like a rainbow color across it. It's got that look like when you hit metal with a blowtorch, and it kind of puts that rainbow patina on it. And then very faintly, you see these etchings along it. So it's a smooth band, but it has these very faint etchings along it. And those are probably the magical runes that give it its properties. All right. You train with Pride. And in doing so, you take a level of Bard, I believe.
Yes.
And per our discussion, with a new focus on swordsmanship, you successfully, over the last couple of weeks, have managed to change your subclass, KC, Uranus. What are you changing from Lore Bard to?
I'm changing from Whispers Bard to
Whispers,
College
yeah.
of Swords Bard.
Ooh.
College of Swords Bard. So your abilities do shift with that. But yes, Uranus, and those of you kind of in and out of kind of the space are noticing this. Uranus's work with that black scimitar, the Shamshir, actually, has gotten very adept. And you see him start to begin to weave in that bardic magic, those inspirational aspects that he has through his magical oration to help him with his swordsmanship. So yes, still a bard lock, but now College of Swords. Awesome.
Stabby Bard.
Stabby Bard. Yes. Anything else on you before we move on?
Nope.
Awesome. Grokus, what are you spending your week on?
So Grokus, he's so the main thing he's going to be doing is what he's going to want to do first is we'll want to do a couple of things. Mainly just going around town and helping the poor and the people who might be homeless, especially now it's colder. So he's going to go around every day using all his healing spells that he can to help people that need it. And so he'll go around anywhere, just like anywhere we need food or comfort. He wants to use the gold that he has to like purchase some supplies as well for food and things like that to try to spread balance to everybody because everyone deserves a chance at balance no matter their economic standing. So he will be doing that. Secondly, he definitely want to check on Peony as she goes to like help the new OTL just to make sure that they're doing okay. And so checking her like come down there too, like just make sure everything's kind of safe and do what I can there. And lastly too, I just want to stop by the churches and see if they know anything about curses and about vampires, see if they have any kind of knowledge about that as well. But
awesome. Yeah. So I've got 2 checks I would like you to make for me, Grokus. The first one is in regard to your research. So go ahead and just make an investigation check.
Ooh, it's not my best.
Got this.
Okay. I mean, it's 15. 15. I have a 0 for investigation.
That's all right. 15 is pretty good. You talk to a couple of different people in various holy places. Bringing with you that knowledge you had discovered about the undead being referenced as soulless creatures. And you kind of weigh this with them and the way the different faiths kind of treat the soul, and how this might interact and how are they still conscious and able to move about without one. And there's deep discussion that happens. And what you kind of learn from that is that there's kind of a prevailing theory, some of it pre your conversation, some of it developed in your conversation, that it wouldn't be possible for these creatures to have a semblance of consciousness and memory if there wasn't some sort of tether to the soul, at least amongst the faith and the way the faith views the emergence of body and soul. And that while that soul may be diminished or fractured or far away, that there is some sort of tether that must be there in order for them to not just be kind of brainless, mindless beings.
Their light hasn't been extinguished. It's not completely.
The other roll I would like you to make is a general charisma roll, please.
Oh, man, I'm gonna make rolls I'm good at.
So charismatic.
And I would
That's
say
a nat 20.
Oh.
Fuck yeah.
I was going to give you advantage. I was about to give you advantage, but you don't need it, my man.
Is this a check? Is this a charisma? Is this a basic charisma check? Because I'm a -1, but still nat 20. But
yeah. So 19, but I mean it's still a nat 20. Yeah. This is for your standing within the community. You have been going about providing help, providing aid, providing counsel, giving of yourself and your magics, which, even with a free universal healthcare system, is still a valuable commodity. Look, it's my fantasy world. It's still a very valuable commodity. And there is talk of this dwarf who's been in town for a few weeks with this group. But you specifically are starting to build a little bit of a positive reputation here in the community. You're starting to have those moments where when you're walking through a familiar people are nodding and saying hello to you and recognizing you, and you're becoming a bit of a regular in places. And
I'm so awkward back to them. Oh, that's awesome.
But yes, the word that Grokus Darkbringer, a long lost dwarf cleric, has been making home in Floros, is spreading.
A little balance.
Providing balance, yes. Anything else for you?
No, that's awesome, and yeah, no, that's cool. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, like just making sure, and like I said, still checking on Peony too. So that's the only other thing.
Yes.
Just making sure they're doing okay.
And we will get to Peony soon. Yes. Pry, you're up next.
Yeah, so Pry wants to spend some time in the library up on the top shelf, the first shelf. I don't know which order the numbers go in, but doing research on trying to figure out what Odie is. And also tieflings, cambions, like peoples with fiendish bloodlines, just trying to understand more about all of that. She's also going to write a letter to Hugh Hillfoot, telling him the adventure story of our basilisk fight, and figure out how to send that to him. I don't know how your mail system works.
There are both ravens and couriers, depending on what you're looking for and who you're looking to contact. There are magical messages available to be sent, but of course they have limitations. So a full-length letter probably is going to go by courier or raven.
Okay. Feel like if it's possible, send it by bird because that's cooler. She's trying to make this feel as like storybooky as possible for him.
Yeah.
And then also training with Uranus, and potentially as Pry and Uranus train, they cooked up a little bit of a plan and might want to go back and talk to Winmar.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an investigation check for your research in the library.
You got this.
Could I be blessing them before they go? Like we all talk like everyone here, like oh, let me.
I mean,
every morning we get our morning blessings from
Gurgis. Every morning.
Like blessed every day.
Just as you go out the door. Yep.
So cute.
It's more like pat on the shoulder or like the arm, I guess, depending.
Except for you.
Yeah, PD actually gets the head tap. Everyone else is like high five.
I would say I will take into account for the DC the fact that you might be getting some help throughout the week. So go ahead and just roll an investigation check, but with help via different inspirations or spells, I will take that into account and lower the DC.
Awesome. Whew, a 19.
A 19.
Oh,
that's very good.
I don't get a plus.
No, that's very good.
You scared me. I thought it was a one.
I know. I thought that was a one.
So with a 19, you don't find out exactly what Odie is. There's nothing about this particular creature that's been written down. You do read a lot about aberrations, and there is general lore that is written down around them being creatures that end up on our plane of existence, your plane of existence, from another. And specifically some plane that people aren't familiar with, because creatures come and go from various planes and they're more identifiable, whether it's the Shadowfell or the Feywild or the Hells or the whatever it is. No one really knows where these kings come from, but they do kind of categorize them in a group, and you actually, if you want, are able to with Paige's blessing add some information about Odie in there. And you know what? For the hell of it, you coin the name Odiug, and you begin the process of chronologing this type of creature.
Amazing!
That's
Yay.
awesome.
In
Super
regards
cool.
to tieflings, there's not much you find out that you don't already know. You've exhausted this search in your own studies in Excessa, which has much larger resources than Floros. So just to revisit what you know about tieflings, I mean, it is a genetic line born of some sort of union between a fiendish creature, a devil, a creature, and a creature of the material plane. It tends to pop up. It's not, oh, well, the bloodline is very obvious as it goes. You could skip several generations, then all of a sudden a tiefling pop up into that bloodline. What that does remind you of and kind of confirm for you is that while there's, you can never be 100% sure, this isn't an like you being a tiefling born to non-tiefling parents doesn't mean that your mother was unfaithful or anything like that. Like, it could just be part of the bloodline. And it does bring up a lot of complicated feelings with the way that your parents handled this, and that stress between their societal expectations and you just wanting to be loved for who you are. So that, taken into account with what Elixio has been goading you with, I'll let you take however you wish. And then what was the last thing you were looking at?
While Pry and Aranis were training, they talked about sort of like how to honor this arrangement with Winmar about the sponsorship and, like, you know, using the banner to its fullest capacity. So they cooked up a little bit of a plan that they might want to pitch to Winmar.
Okay. Do you want to do that?
I want to hear this pitch.
Yeah, roleplay this pitch.
Yeah, come on, guys.
Yeah.
So we were thinking that apart from just using the banner whenever we are out doing our own adventuring, it might be interesting to create some sort of serial performance art associated with your brand more intentionally to get the attention of everyone in the city. Some sort of like pop-up performance.
Aranis is going to cast Disguise Self and change into like a generic thief-looking character. When he's got like a black mask, very Hamburglar actually. Like it screams thief.
Yeah. That's a deep cut reference.
Good.
Oh man,
I'm so happy.
Hamburglar.
What's the voice going to be like?
Oh.
What?
I'm gonna steal your magic items.
No.
Yes. Yes. Aranis is supersonic. Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh
my god. So
that is not even the best part.
It gets better.
Oh, yes. So since he can transform himself into characters, including this terrifying villain, we were thinking perhaps he could come into the store and attempt to steal some items. And that very efficient gentleman you have downstairs, what is his name? Theo? Is that right?
Theo.
We were thinking that he could be taken hostage, and then I could come in and protect the honor of Winmars, and the two of us, me and the bandit, could have an amazing sword fight on the roof of your building.
This is almost like a brand launch.
Exactly.
I love this. Creates
and then we could plan. Exactly, we could plan further pop-ups throughout the city after this one, if the crowd likes it.
Maybe there are recurring characters. Maybe he gets away and then pops up later at another location.
I was hoping you would like this.
I love it. This sounds wonderful. Theo, you're going to be kidnapped! And he's like running out the office, like just shouting in his store.
Aranis is going to run after him. I'm coming for you, Theo.
You have to draw these shitty like pencil mustache.
It's so bad. It's so
or like
bad.
Waluigi, like
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my. You know what? We're going to put a pin in that, and we're going to come back to that performance here after we get to the rest of our characters, because I do have a couple things that I think we need to revisit with more time. That's one of them. Amazing. All right. On that note, Artemis, what are you up to?
I don't want to follow that.
I'm not doing it. Blame her. Great idea.
Oh my god.
The Hamburglar.
Hamburger.
Okay, the Hamburglar was not my fault.
He steals your hams.
Steals your hams. Wow. So for that week, I think Artemis would seek out Hoki. to discuss dunamancy and graviturgy and the potential of going backwards or forwards in time, and the consequences that could probably occur, and especially manipulating gravity to her will.
So
And
you find Hoki in a
Yes.
very rundown little pub called the Crossroads Tavern. That's on the lower shelf, kind of on the edge of town. And you sit down and begin talking about this with him, and he like doesn't say hardly a word while you're talking. He just sips his drink.
Hoki, have you been listening to anything I've been saying? Would you care to elaborate, or am I just wasting my time here?
That guy over there is cheating at cards.
That's wonderful. What does that have to do with?
I'm figuring out how he's cheating so I can go place a bet.
I feel like you've had enough to drink.
Oh, no, I'm fine. This doesn't affect me at all. That's an old spell I cast years ago. Here's the thing. Traveling through time is not like, no one's ever done it before.
Well, there's a first time for everything, isn't there?
There is, unless it's the last time, and then there's no more first times.
Risk I'm willing to take.
I don't even know where to start with that. Like, the work that I've done in the book is about gravity. And some elements, some small elements of reaching into possibility and manipulating possibility. That's not the same as time travel.
Manipulating possibility.
Right. Making things go the way you want them to go. It's almost divination, but not quite, because that's just looking ahead. This is choosing ahead.
Okay. I mean, I'll take what I can get at this point.
I mean, we can keep exploring this, but I'm just letting you know this is uncharted waters.
I'm here for it.
Great.
How can I assist?
Hold this, and he hands you his big mug, and he like hops down. This particular tavern has nothing that's halfling sized. It's all human sized stuff, which is kind of an oddity. Most places are kind of built with multiple levels of stuff. But he hops down off of the big bench and like kind of hustles over to where there's someone's doing like a 3-card Monty type shuffle card game. You see him reach in and pull out like this impossibly large bag of money. Like, it's cartoonish the way it comes out of his cloak and drops, and the whole place goes kind of crazy. Everybody's round and everything like that. And you watch as Hoki just takes everybody to the cleaners and just rakes in every last piece of gold and silver that these people have. And over the course of about 3 different rounds, where he slowly kind of like builds kind of this narrative and this larger and larger bet, until finally he kind of he shoves it all back in his coat, which no bulges, just disappears, and kind of hustles back over to you like, we have to go now. We gotta go right now.
Okay, all right, let's go.
Okay.
You need to teach me how to do that, Hoki.
Okay. That's what I'm talking about, right? Possibility.
Yes.
Making sure you
get
the right ones.
Yes, and I think that would definitely help me and my friends coming up quite soon, actually.
Okay. So he spends some time with you going through different spells and whatnot that he's worked on. And as your week with Hoki and other things comes to an end, and we'll get to other things for you, of course, as well, but your time with Hoki comes to an end, that contributes to your level up, and you can add an additional 1st or 2nd level dunamancy spell or graviturgy spell to your spell book.
All right.
And free of
Thank you very
charge,
much.
he will copy it in there for you. So you do not need to spend the
Sweet.
gold that you would normally spend to copy it into your spell book.
I will take that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What else do you have going on this week?
Just spending time with Azure, essentially.
All right.
Yeah.
The most sex. Said it at the beginning. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Darby.
Yes.
But yeah, essentially, yes.
This episode's gonna need a viewer warning.
Doing the
That's
funky
the
hold down
title
in
of the
bed.
episode, The Most Sex. Oh, right
The
there.
most sex.
There you
I'm
go.
holding you to that now.
The hanky
Oh.
panky, the oinga boinga,
The dance with
sideways
no
Can't wait to
tango.
see the view count on that.
The Devil's Tango.
69.
This is it. This is the
Skyrockets.
clickbait that launches us to stardom. Oh my
Yes.
gosh. Oh my gosh. All right. Sounds good. You and
Yeah.
Azure deepen your bond and spend lots of good quality time together.
Yes.
Does everyone have to roll charisma check like Grokus did? Just kidding.
Or Constitution.
Constitution save, oh my god.
That much?
Both checks.
I'm sorry.
You know what? Make a dexterity
Oh, no.
saving throw. No, I'm kidding.
God damn it.
Oh my gosh. All right.
They're-
Well, yes, they are. Yes, they are. They are peeping. Peony, what are you up to this week?
Stuff. Peony. I think a couple things. While training Odie, if Pry is like down there observing Odie at all, Peony is like, oh, and look, I can make her do this. Like talking about different things she's observed about Odie. Getting Odie to respond to her name, and trying to teach Odie to not eat everything that she feels like eating. Like some modicum of control. PD in between training Odie, because she's probably not spending 24/7 all week down there, is probably gonna try and find a harness leash sort of situation
Sure,
for Odie.
okay.
And then maybe the city dump.
Okay. Easy to find the dump. Easy to find a leather worker that will create a harness for you. You actually find it at a place called Steel and Pin that does blacksmithing but also leather work, and is run by a half-orc gentleman there. That's going to cost you 5 gold pieces to get a sturdy leather harness.
Easy.
I'm going to ask for 2 different animal handling checks, and the reason being is that the difficulty between getting Odie to recognize you by name and respond, and recognize Odie's own name, is very different from the difficulty of stopping Odie from eating everything in sight. So we're going to start with the name check. And I am
And
also
that was
taking,
down there too, so
Yep, and I'm taking into account Grokus's help in regards to the DC.
I bring up the city dump because I grab bags full of garbage
Okay.
and then put it in my bag of holding and then bring it
Oh,
down to feed Odie
Okay.
the garbage.
There is-
gross.
there
Because I
is-
think
yeah.
Genius.
There's a lot of
Odie
garbage you
eats
can fit in
everything,
there.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Odie eats just about anything. Yeah. So she's like, look, I provide. So please.
All right. Animal handling
Don't-
check number 1.
Okay. 16.
16. Okay. It takes a couple of days, but Odie finally does start responding to her name, and sort of somewhat coming when called. It's not 100%. But it is enough to
Right.
start to feel, that in combination with the leash. You don't know that you'd take her around town, but certainly kind of exploring some of the tunnels you've already gone through and walking around
Mhm.
is going really well.
Okay. Cool.
All right. So the next one is for trying to curb Odie's appetite
Uh-huh.
and control that a little bit.
Cool. Oh, we level up. 22.
22. Okay. This one takes you all week. But eventually you're never going to stop Odie's initial urges and instincts, but you get her to start to respond to a leash tug when she begins to, run off in the direction of something. You're still not confident you could just like have her heal and like just walk around with you. But there is and you actually do take her out into not the inner city, but some of the outskirts of the city at night, and walk around just so that she's around buildings and things like that. And every once in a while, a person, and in the cover of darkness, this could just be like kind of a bulky dog.
A dog.
We're not sure. Yeah. And so you keep her from immediately running and attacking people and eating everything, and it's going well. Yeah. That was not a low DC, and you beat it. Well done.
Along with the sat harness,
yes,
can I get little leather mitts for her really sharp tentacle claws?
Yes,
just like doggy like doggy mitts.
Yep.
Just
that'll cost you another 5 silver to get those, but easy enough to do.
Fine. Hell yes.
Obviously, you do not want to do one for the third tentacle, which is her eyes.
Yeah, because it has her eyes. Yeah. So just the 2, just so she's like not, excitedly like slapping me and just digging them in.
Yeah, there are a lot of excited slaps, but they just hit you now versus digging in. The first day or 2 that you were training before you got all of that stuff, there's a lot of it stung.
The scratches. She's not trying to eat Pedal, right? Like Odie's not trying to eat
not
Pedal.
after some work.
Okay, cool. That's the big one. I mean,
yep.
Yeah. At some point, I'll get.
Can you roll a charisma check for Pedal?
Where the fuck do I find there? 10?
They are not getting along.
Okay.
They are definitely not getting along. There's a lot of growling. There's a lot of like kind of territorial scuffles. And Pedal's being a little sullen lately, as you have been giving a lot of attention to this new pet. And Pedal's giving you a little bit of the cold shoulder.
I want them to be friends. Maybe. Because in 2 levels, Pedal's gonna be just as big as Odie. So
not yet though.
Not yet. Okay. Scoopity boop bop. Yeah. I mean,
anything else for you during that week?
I'd like to begin to grow a plant in a pot. I have the infusion for said pot of awakening.
Yes.
As an artificer.
Yes.
So she'll have
pets.
More plants. More plants.
Trooper needs a playmate, so that's fine.
Trooper does need a playmate.
How are they gonna play?
Like plants. Come on, dude. Don't listen to him, Trooper.
This is a risky maneuver for me because I will have to unfuse my goggles of night for the time being. And it does take 30 days. And I believe if I uninfuse the pot of awakening, it stops existing.
Okay.
But
we'll double check all those rules. But yeah. What are you hoping to plant? Because it can be pretty much anything that can be planted in a pot.
Are good berries something I can grow in a pot?
Not necessarily. Goodberry itself is a spell that Chanceberry.
I will figure out the plant. I
Okay.
did not think that far.
Sounds good. Could be a flower, could be a little shrub, could be all sorts of different things.
I grow a peony plant.
Okay.
Peony Junior. I'm just growing a menagerie here.
Yeah, you are. You are. Okay, you begin the process of growing Peony Junior. It'll take some time. All right. And Malachite, via Joe's notes to me, spends the week down in the mine for the most part, working on the machine, specifically trying to recast that drive gear so that he can have a copy of it. And it takes a lot of tries. It's a very intricate process. But he thinks he has a version of it that is ready to go. He inserts it back into the main machine and that machine runs. It's just a matter of now waiting for the construct to arrive and inserting it into that machine and making sure it runs there. Yeah, and he in the process also, with a little help from you, Artemis, I would say, gets more of the machines running. He one thing that you find out pretty quickly over this week is that by adding more coal heart, that gem, that crystal, that is a bit of a conductor for heat, adding more of that to the furnace allows the fires to grow bigger, and trying to dial in the right amount. You're also running low on it because you've been stealing it from the lamps in the room. And so that's the only coal heart you actually have on you at the time, other than maybe a chunk that you brought from Crispin Hills. So you're not sure if you're going to have quite enough in order to power the entire thing yet, but you're getting close. So all that being said, it is, we'll say, the 7th day since you started your little montage, and it is not raining quite yet this day, but it is chilly, and it did rain last night, so everything's wet and just damp, and people's clothes are damp, and people's boots are muddy and whatnot. And you all wake up to another day feeling a little bit stronger. We'll say the level up kicks in right in this morning. Feeling good and hoping that this will be the day that Gull joins you all. You also have worked out a lot of the details with Winmar for this performance, but it has not yet taken place. But you kind of have everything ready to go at whatever time you decide makes sense. So, with all that said, what would you all like to do?
Should we? I mean, I think Goal will be here today, tomorrow. Should we get ready to go down into the mine?
I think we should.
On the bottom.
Yes.
Yes, I forget. Is that where we said to meet us? Right? I forget.
Well, we're gonna have him drop the thing off somewhere outside of the city, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we could go out and grab it and then bring it in sneakily somehow.
Yeah, you've not spoken with him since you messaged him, a little over a week ago.
And I could have too. I mean, I could have over time. I mean, because I think didn't I message him or no? Did I reach out to him? I think I did. Okay.
Do you have sending? I thought it was.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, then okay, yeah, you could.
And I
be in
think,
contact with him.
didn't we say that it was probably better if Crocus did it, since the idea of the construct could be part of some things that we are not allowed to do?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Yeah.
So I talked to him on the Slack, so you guys will know. And I gotta make this call real quick. I'll be right back.
In that case, Grocus, you do find out that the weather has been causing a little bit of a delay for Gull as well. He's about a day behind from just moving through the muck and everything. So you're probably expecting him at some point tomorrow afternoon at this point. And now it's just a matter of, kind of figuring out last minute plans and preparing where you want to meet him and all of that.
Oh God. And I'm like horrible, like on sending, probably like an old person, just like have to resend it again and again.
Dearest
it's gonna be fine.
Auto correct.
Is your friend going to be bringing this thing? You said it cannot walk under its own power right now, right? So is it coming in like a cart or something?
I believe
I would assume
yeah,
so.
yes.
so.
Are we okay to talk about this? I mean, we're talking about a random, just so you guys aren't in.
You are expecting a delivery?
Yes. Oh, yes. So it's a
Yes.
delivery, and delivery should be coming by carts.
Great.
believe.
Is your friend who is making the delivery going to want to take his cart back with him? Because we still have not actually gotten Malachite's cart back
Oh
from
no.
wherever it was taken.
I would say at some point in the week, Malachite went and got his impounded cart.
Good. Never mind then.
The rest of the
Yay.
gold.
And has been stabling that at one of the local stables. Yes.
Okay, never mind then.
Oh, so yes, we have yep, we should begin delivering her shortly. The weather's definitely made it a little bit harder for them to come by, but everything seems to be good on the delivery. Wink. We're supposed to get its subtleties.
Goodness.
Amazing.
Perfect.
So I think maybe we stock up on rations probably for
Oh,
being down there.
Agreed.
And then we go have possibly a last drink.
I think that would be a good plan.
I'm gonna go to the city dump.
whoa! What do you mean? What do you mean
Wow.
last?
What?
What?
I'm gonna go to the city dump for if we're getting rations. I need rations for Odie,
Fair.
or Odie might take a little nibble or something
Okay.
else.
Is there anything we need besides rations?
Water?
I guess we get some health potions. I guess. I mean,
I think we have.
We
a
have?
lot. Oh, okay.
We have a couple. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, more doesn't hurt, but yes. And plus, I guess it can help too. So, but just in case something happens to me, just want to make sure you guys are all have something too.
I have 2 potions myself.
Same here.
And let's not call it the last drink. You know what I mean? We don't know what the future is going to bring. So let's, it's just a drink between friends. Doesn't have to be the last or the first.
Just a drink.
Just a moment. Just a drink in the present.
Before
And-
we go into the pit with the vampires.
It's just, hey, that's my family to talk about too, though. I mean, it
Only a
was
few of
our,
them.
and I would relate to that. Apparently, the other clerics seem to think that their souls are still at least attached to them, but they can't just completely soulless. So they're still
There's
semblance
still
of them at
hope.
least. So maybe, yeah.
Andrew, at this morning, how long is it until our month is up?
I haven't got the math completely figured out yet, but you're probably about a week and a half into the month at this point.
Okay.
Okay.
And Malachite said he could
We'll
keep
say
track of time
we're
down
10
there,
days
right?
in at this point.
10 days.
Yeah.
And how long has it been since we talked to? Oh my God, forget his name. The dwarf that we're kind of keeping, whose remains that we have. It's been 8 days or 7 days.
We
It
can
would be 7 days since you talked to him.
Okay, so you can talk to him in 3 more days. Okay.
Sorry, 10 days in, how many days in your month?
Yeah.
We'll say
30,
30.
30.
Yeah, we're gonna make this easy.
30, Thanks.
Yeah.
Just wanted to know
28.
now.
It's actually
22.5.
54 days.
Yeah.
54.5 days.
Just
There's a half
wanted
day.
to know
Yeah, and every
now.
other month is a leap month. So
This will be
yeah.
month
Makes sense. Yeah.
because of the rotation, to make sure it's
And then it's
Mhm.
daylight savings, you have to, or rift light savings, you have to go back a little
Rift
bit.
light savings.
Red light saving.
Well done. That's good. That's good.
That was
Thank you. Thank you. I'll be here all week.
Mhm.
So we're going to. So Peony is going to. Who's going to go with Peony to the dump? Because are we still making sure we stick together? So is someone going to.
I think
Okay, I guess I'll go.
We could just make a circle, right? We could
Oh,
go to the dump, go get supplies for ourselves, go out to have food and drink, and then
call it a night.
call it a night.
Yeah.
We should probably do the dump last. I don't think people would like if you bring trash into their.
Aren't you putting it in your
Oh.
bag of holding?
Can we smell through the bag of holding? Is it scent proof?
That's true.
It is scent proof. Yes.
Tight. Now, then we can hit it up whenever we're
question.
going. And any garbage that we collect along the way, Petey's just gonna pull the bag out of the bag and then put
Ooh,
more in.
Like through alleyways,
Petey,
you're just dumping bins in. And everything.
That's
Yep.
great. We can definitely clean up this. We can definitely clean up as we go along. Everyone helps out. Oh, I'm gonna find like some sticks to give everybody.
Yeah,
Like,
the
some
oak stick.
I'm gonna find some. I'll find some sharp sticks. So there you go,
You're gonna
Ronis.
commission
There go
some
Pride.
vests.
There we go.
Some
God.
brightly colored
Oh
vests.
my
as well.
gosh.
Aranis hates every moment of it. But
Oh my
There we go,
Kettle
just
has a
cleaning
little
up.
vest.
Oh.
That's awesome. There we go. Just cleaning up town too. So making sure like everywhere we walk, just getting up all that kind of garbage, cleaning it all up. Yes.
Like the path in Family Circus. Like we took one path through all the streets, so there's one path through Floros. So it's really, really
Actually
clean, and
really
all
clean.
of the
Yeah, yeah.
streets off of that are
Yeah.
still messy.
And
One clear
Grokus
path
at
is
one
shown in the
point,
way.
at one point, this kind of hunched over old man, halfling man, sees you doing this and goes, thank you, Grokus. Have a balanced day. And like kind of keeps going.
We have a balanced day too. Like, oh my gosh, no one's ever said that to me before.
You have people saying your catchphrase?
You're a celebrity?
I mean, Grokus is so happy he's too dark to see him flush, so y'all can't see nothing.
City. Grokus
Um,
is now the city's grandpa.
I mean, I guess I don't know. It's just something that happened. I don't know. There's a piece of garbage over there. I'm gonna get that piece that's really far that way. I'm gonna go grab it. You can't see it, but my dwarf eyes I can see it.
All right. Well, you clean a path through the city. You hit the garbage dump up and fill the bag up as much as you want. Peony, you do find the end of the bag of holding at one point this week. There is a finite amount that it can carry. And so just keep that in mind as well. But yes, what other supplies are you needing to pick up? If any. Food?
Yeah, rations.
Rations.
And maybe a
Yeah.
bit of other like caving equipment in case we need backups.
Sure.
Yeah,
It's all
rope.
non-magical,
Lots
kind
of
mundane
rope.
items.
Yeah.
I would say
Yes.
you could stock up with rope and I never know how to pronounce it. Pittons, I think it is.
Sure, that works.
Yeah, sure. And rations for 10
Close
gold
enough.
pieces. Yeah,
Okay, I'll take that out of the party fund since it's for all of us.
cool.
Cool.
And where are you ending your evening? What establishment are you thinking of hitting up?
I
Grokus proposes a
Halfling's
church,
luck.
but he's
Yeah.
like, never mind.
I was gonna say shopping would be like on the top and second shelf, right?
Mhm.
So maybe
Mostly the
the
second
halfling's
shelf.
luck on the second
Mhm.
shelf.
The
Yeah.
halfling's luck. All right.
We've not that I would know anything about the halfling's luck at all. Never been there, not once, not on, not on.
Nope, but it sure looked cool on the map.
Oh yeah, definitely.
As you come up on this tavern in particular, this pub, it is quite grandiose. It is kind of these tall wooden walls that have these towers and streamers hanging from them and little flags and a big sign with calligraphy that says the halfling luck out front. There are people who are kind of coming from every direction. There's a bouncer at the door kind of checking folks and letting them in, but with a big friendly smile on his face. It seems like a very pleasant environment. And you hear music and laughter and shouting from inside. As you get closer, what you notice is that the towers and the kind of grandiose building is mostly a facade. It's mostly flats that are cut to look a certain way from a distance. And as you get closer, it's kind of a normal tavern building, but just a big front built up on it. But as you get closer, you see that there's this Goliath woman who's working as the bouncer. She's got a shaved head with tattoos kind of all over and kind of running down her arms. She's wearing, she's got bare arms and kind of like very simple clothes, not holding any sort of like weaponry or whatnot, but actually has like in her hands what is a very tiny little checklist and like clipboard essentially that she's checking and taking people's names as they come in and letting them know what seat to go to. So as you all come up, she gives a big broad smile to you and is like, Welcome. How many are we going to have tonight?
6.
Table for 6, certainly. And of course, as you know, the halflings don't guarantee anyone's safety in this spectacular show of death-defying acts. The closer you sit to danger. Please enjoy your time here at the Halfling's Luck, and may you be as lucky as a halfling. And kind of
how close can we
ushers
get?
you in.
How close can we sit to the stage?
Oh, well, if you want to be within spitting distance, I can put you at table 3.
Oh no.
Yes!
We were definitely
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
I'm with Peony. I'll do table 3.
Meredith,
Okay.
can you seat them at table 3, please? And this, human woman kind of comes over and like ushers you all in that direction and puts you on the front row on the right-hand side. So you're just off kind of the corner of the stage. The stage itself has big curtains that are there, and you see a bar on one side and a kitchen door on the other, and then all these tables and booths and whatnot set up, and people are packing in and getting ready for whatever this show is. And after about 20 minutes, you get some drinks and have some conversation, and about 20 minutes later, you see a halfling woman with brown hair and a big friendly smile on her face, and wearing these kind of almost like a tunic coat that comes down to her knees, and then these big poofy pants underneath, and it all has this very like clean lined red trim on everything, red and gold trim. And she comes out, and you can tell, because you're closer, you can tell she's wearing like a lot of stage makeup on her face to brighten up her smile. And she comes out and throws her hands wide and just says, "Welcome everyone to the Halfling's Luck for tonight's show." And the place erupts in applause. She takes a deep, long bow and she says, "My name is Allie, and I am happy to welcome you here to tonight's performance. Remember, we guarantee no one's safety." And everyone kind of gives a chuckle and whatnot. She says, "And without any further ado, get those drinks, get that food, settle in, for we bring you a show from the far reaches of the kingdom, from up high in the skies, down deep under the grounds. We have traveled to find every last technique and bit of mystery that Alson has to offer. I present to you the Halflings 3." And she steps back, and the curtain opens. And you see 2 other halflings step forward. One is a man who's got close cut, kind of like a crew cut type haircut. And you see some tattoos on the side of his head where it's shaved down. Looks very similar to her. You can tell pretty quickly that they're probably siblings, or at least closely related. The other one looks very similar to them in facial features, and is a halfling, but you notice her skin is deep red. And she has black horns that curl up and around, as this is a tiefling halfling, but with very similar features to her sister. And they begin their performance, and it is fun and body and has tons of juggling acts and whip cracking and knife throwing, jokes at people's expenses. At one point, being in the front row, they start asking for volunteers, and they are definitely looking at the front row kind of hard to see. And their eyes kind of go over your table, and Aranis, their eyes set on you, and kind of point and go, "There, the tall, good-looking elf man. Why don't you come on up here?"
Immediate stands up. It's got to be me.
Right
Aranis goes up on the stage.
"Please welcome him to the stage, everybody." And you get a smattering of applause.
I'm gonna high five Aranis to give you bless. I'm gonna high five to give you bless on the way. Get it, lad.
Okay, nice.
As soon as Aranis gets up on stage, he throws down the Winmar banner.
It pops up, and they kind of look and like, performer to performer,
roll with it.
You see them give you a look that says, "What the fuck, dude?" And they say, but they look at it real quick and they immediately turn and go, and we're very happy to announce that tonight's performance is brought to you by Winmar's Wizarding Wonders. And then there's a little clap and they go, everybody in the tavern gets 10% off their next order there.
He's fucking cackling, is laughing so hard.
And the tiefling looks right up at you and kind of gives you that smile of like, and you can hear her say between her teeth, "You roll with it too."
10%, everybody.
What's your name, my friend?
My name is Aranis.
Aranis, thank you so much for your contribution to the show this evening. Would you stand right over there against the wall, please? And they have like this kind of like pseudo wall they've brought out. And you can see knife marks in the rough shape of a person's outline all around it. And they're saying, just stand very, very still right there. And they turn back to the crowd and like, while our friend Aranis stands as still as he can against the wall of doom, Allie's going to perform her death-defying ball balance knife routine. Everybody starts clapping, and this kind of large, rough wooden ball gets brought out. It looks like it's kind of been cobbled together and then like pasted over, and it doesn't roll very well, but it kind of gets brought out. And she kind of hops up onto it and begins the process of balancing herself. And then she reaches over and her brother hands her a set of knives. And she holds them and kind of looks at you. And you just hear her kind of ventriloquist style through her smile say, "Don't move, don't move." And she holds the knives up to everybody and begins to chuck them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And she creates an outline of your form all the way around. And on the last knife, it sinks in right next to your eye, almost clipping your ear. And it's she jumps off of the ball and throws her arms wide, and everybody roars in applause. Everybody thank Aranis for his participation and Winmar's Wizarding Wonders for that sponsorship.
Deep bow, collapses the thing and goes and sits
Go,
down.
Aranis. Like, we're just super loud. Like, yeah, I know him.
The act comes to a close, and food is continually served throughout all of this, and eventually the curtains drop, and everybody gives a standing ovation to this hour's show, and you see the 3 halflings kind of disappear behind the curtain, and then you see them, if you're keen of eye, as Peony would definitely be, you see them popping kind of in and out behind the bar, in the kitchen, a little more business-like on their face, but anytime they catch the eye of a patron, big smile comes back on and thanks them for being there, kind of running the business while also keeping up the facade of the performance.
Oh, I thought that I was going right into your face, Aranis. That was excellent. Were you scared at all or nervous?
Oh, they're professionals.
And it's incredible that that Winmar's is sponsoring them too.
Oh, yes.
That's
You
so
tell us
cool.
about that.
Yeah.
Is that a new thing?
Yeah, he's gonna love that. I'm sure of it. He's gonna love that.
I mean,
Did you not know about it?
a bunch of people coming into the shop and paying 90% for something is better than nobody coming into the shop. So
This is true.
Absolutely.
But if he doesn't know, should you let him know before they come in asking for the 10% and they're confused?
It's fine. He'll be fine.
we can let Theo deal with it.
Yeah.
Poor
He's
Theo.
super helpful.
Goodness.
Boom. It's still a lovely show. That was an awesome act too. The way they were like, doing those crazy things. Oh man.
More drinks are
Drinking,
served,
talking.
food is brought around. It's kind of family style, the way they pile everything into the tables. And yeah, there isn't another show this evening, and eventually the place starts to not die down. It looks like after the shows are done, it continues to be a fairly lively place for people who want to come get a drink. But a lot of the larger groups, a couple families that had been there with their kids, end up finishing their meals and leaving. So the crowd changes in the next hour or so, and it starts to feel a little more like a normal tavern you would be in.
When the crowd shifts to a more normal group, does anybody in the party have a hat? Do we have a hat? Where I don't think we do.
I have Shrewbirds, but what do you plan on doing?
Oh, like a.
Listen on Shrewbirds.
I think Peony
I
has
don't
a
think Shrewbird
loose
works.
little bag that you could throw down.
Bag works, yeah. Aranis is just going to go up on the stage and just start playing music and put the banner behind him.
Oh, without asking? Oh my god.
Oh,
We're about to get kicked out.
Branding.
We're about to get kicked
All the
out.
time.
oh God.
You pop up on the stage without asking permission and begin playing music, and you see the halflings like pop their head out and be like, "Mm." And you see them actually go over and start having a conversation with the Goliath woman.
Oh my god.
But they
lad.
don't interrupt your performance because that would be bad form and not good for business. So, you want to make a performance check, Aranis?
Please be good. Please be so good that they can't be mad.
Oh, buddy.
I don't think about things. Performance.
Can
What a
Peony do a prestidigitation to help make it seem like super cool or something? Like
You have experience doing this. What are you doing specifically before we hear what the role was?
is it thaumaturgy that I used last time? No. Or was thaumaturgy I used last time? But I think prestidigitation might be nicely flashy because I can make like a shower of sparks and stuff kind of appear. So she's just kind of making a bunch of, I could do this 3 times, just like lots of sparks and flowers. There's like something cool, flashy, like you look sparkly and anime.
Kind of lights up the air around you, almost like kind of falling fireflies that kind of pop up around. I'll say add a D4 to your roll.
Add a D4?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is Grokus's bless still active?
Okay.
No.
And I would have done a hands ability, but I didn't know what was going on. So
what's the
I had
total?
no clue.
So that's 15 total.
15
Thank
total?
goodness I have a plus 10 because I rolled a 3.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, for you, you're not on your game. You're probably a couple drinks in, and it's a new crowd, new stage, and it's weird having the banner there, and like, should you reference it? Should you not? You're not sure. But that being said, you are trained professional, and you work your way through a couple pieces without anyone other than yourself realizing that you missed a couple lines in a song and a couple notes on Bethany. And at the end of it, people give applause. And with a 15, I'll say that you rake in about 10 gold pieces in tips, the total of.
Yes.
What does Aranis sing about?
I think he sings the story of a halfling. The story of a halfling coming from a forest where the trees go whoop and
Yes.
I want this recorded by next session. I need this. I need a demo.
Yeah, that's it.
Don't forget to tip your bartender.
Watch as
Yes,
you come off
there's
stage.
that too. Yeah. Yes.
As you come off stage, you watch as 2 of the halflings are still having a conversation with the Goliath and kind of glare in your direction, but they look around at everybody applauding and they don't come over quite yet. So, as you sit down and as you're chatting with everyone, you all hear a scraping of a chair as in your table with the 6 of you. All of a sudden, a chair kind of scrapes up and sits down at the corner next to you all at your table. And a figure just slides right into the seat and sets a plate down that they had in their left hand and a drink down that was in their right. And they just begin eating. And you all
Hello.
look
Hey, bud.
at the form of a gray-bearded dwarf with thick, muscular shoulders.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Deep,
Jesus
And
large,
dwarvish.
meaty
It's
hands.
fucking happening. It's fucking happening.
Uh-oh.
Oh god, oh god, oh god.
In Dwarvish, I'm just saying, who, excuse me, who, by chance, are you?
Just continues to cut his meat.
In Dwarvish again, like, hey, excuse me, I'm gonna walk over and just kind of, just lightly on the shoulder, just tap him on the shoulder, like, excuse me, do you...
Have a seat, Grokus. He says in common.
How do you know his name?
Oh, Peony, I know all of your names.
Why?
And you know mine, even if it's escaping you at the moment.
Oh.
It honestly is. Like, Grogus knows what is it again? It honestly is.
It's Crobat.
Yes, Crowbat, there we go, yes.
Hey.
Didn't I really take you for a man about town?
Oh, I do enjoy the halflings show quite a bit. Try to catch it every once in a while, and I couldn't pass up the opportunity to... And he is looking up at you now and kind of pointing at you with his fork, which has a stab of meat on it. Couldn't pass up the opportunity to finally meet you all face to face.
Okay, then what do you want? Because if you know us, and I mean, all of us isn't about something just
You had people
pleasant.
following us to know we were going to be here this evening?
You can think of it that way if you'd like. I don't really need people to follow you. The whole city is my eyes and ears.
Okay, so what do you want then? Because this isn't just a pleasant just meeting.
Well, at the moment, I want a drink refill. And he kind of makes a motion and calls over one of the waiters and orders another ale. And it'll be on these fine folks tab. Thank you.
You're intruding on a very lovely evening.
I can see how you might see it that way, but from my perspective, you're intruding on my damn town.
By doing what? By helping people out? What have we done that's been so bad?
Nothing that apparently couldn't be forgiven by one of my lieutenants, it seems. Interesting ploy going straight to Elixio. It's clever.
He is quite gracious, and we have things in common.
He is something, isn't he? I take it you didn't enjoy your time with him.
I think this party is made up of diverse individuals.
Didn't enjoy the time we spent with one of your people, though, either. Almost got hurt by one of them, I think. So, I mean, it's not the same thing. No, before that. But, yes.
Oh, you're talking about the guy that we took out?
Oh yeah, the one in
the
Hills, right?
Only because the one that was killing.
Slowly sinking into her chair, like I am out of my depth. And I don't understand what's happening.
I can't say that I was unsurprised by the news about Cartwright. He seemed to have been a capable person, but that being said, so be it. Cartwright failed. I have other ventures. You all have Grispin Hills. Congratulations.
We don't have
Grispin. Made your way up here.
It's not. We don't have it. It doesn't belong to people. It belongs to the people. We don't just own the place.
See, that's how that works.
Democracy.
Yes.
Yes.
Given that you have these other ventures, is this a business proposal? What are we sitting here for?
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Takes a long moment to chew his bite.
You like dishonoring the dwarf name then, huh? I mean, just spreading all this wonderfulness
There
to
are
everywhere.
no more dwarves to dishonor, unless you're just talking about yourself. And quite frankly, my friend, my beard's longer than yours is.
It's fine. True dwarf knows that's not the size of the beard that matters. It's the thickness of it. So. And either way, you still want to dishonor our people. Anyways, if most of them are gone still, then why not try to leave like the best thing we can for ourselves? And if it is just us, why not leave the best thing that we can?
Well, to be frank, before I heard news of you, I didn't know there were any of us left. So that was a curiosity. But I understand you're curious as to why I've interrupted your evening with my presence. Quite frankly, I felt it was time that we met face to face. And I figured you might appreciate motions around a public, neutral location.
Fair.
Fair.
Can I insight check him?
You can.
It's fair as long as all of these public people stay safe.
They're in no danger from me. These are my people. This is my town.
21.
He's definitely being cagey. Like there's a lot of reasons why he's here, but you don't get the sense that he's outright lying either.
Are there any people watching us unduly? Like more than just like passing by, but like people, now that she knows that there's someone here with negative intent, is there anyone else like
Looking about, there's no one who's like actively watching you like a spy in the corner or anything like that. You are noticing that people who've been there the whole time even are kind of like, keeping their head down in a way. Like there are people here who recognize him and are trying to not get his attention. If that makes sense.
Gross is glaring at him.
You said you wanted to finally meet us, so should we all share an interesting fact about ourselves or something?
You first.
Do you have an interesting fact about yourself, Pry?
Oh, goodness. These people all thought I was crazy for saying that I broke into libraries in the middle of the night, but that is a thing I do.
Everyone needs a hobby.
I have a very firm handshake.
He sticks his hand out.
Cool. I'll take his hand. Shake it.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh my god! What are you doing?
Is he?
Constitution?
Yep.
11.
Okay. You don't take any damage, but you buckle as his hand grabs yours and crushes it in a very hard handshake. Like he definitely like causes a whimper or a flinch or whatever Peony would do.
I think
as he actively, kind of dominates the handshake.
Grogus stands up.
She winces a little bit, but doesn't make any noise. What's the temperature of his hand?
It feels normal.
Normal, like warm,
like room temperature.
How do you shake someone's hand? There's no way that she could try and feel for a pulse while she's shaking his hand, right? He's crushing her hand.
This is a hand palm to palm, not a wrist to wrist. So,
well, but
you can. But he's crushing my hand.
Mm-hmm.
Can he? Can I feel a pulse?
Especially because the thumb has its own pulse.
Yeah,
that's true.
Are vampires considered undead? I do Eyes of the Grave.
They definitely are.
Really quickly, to see my eyes, just kind of you see the whites of my eyes, as I kind of just glare at him. As I'm sitting there, just kind of glowering.
He turns towards you and goes, "Is that your fun fact? You can roll your eyes back in your head."
Yes, it is.
You don't pick up undead from him.
He's also super nice and doesn't hurt my hand.
Sorry about that. Sometimes I don't know my own strength.
Insight check. dick.
Go for it.
He doesn't. He's just unaware. Super short stuff.
It's just a dick. 22.
He's dicking with you. Yeah.
Yeah, he's fucking with me. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
dick.
Well, maybe you should be mindful, next time when you give someone a lead a handshake like that. So,
Duly noted.
Hmm.
And what about you? He looks at you, Artemis. Do you have an interesting factoid to share with the group?
Party tricks. And she lights up both her hands.
Mm.
That's about it. There's nothing interesting about me.
I can tell. Not a thing. Gives you a long, hard look.
She stares right back.
And Uranus. The local. The rabble rouser.
Just a bit. I happen to know the ugliest dwarf in the world, and I disguise self as him.
Uranus, you are.
That's a
Oh,
good one, my
God.
friend. He like legitimately belly laughs. Like just kind of rocks back in his chair and kind of throws his head back a little bit and kind of oh, my beard, I haven't laughed like that in a while. That's wonderful. I am an ugly bastard.
Well, now that we've given you a good laugh, say what you need to say, and we can go about our business. How about that?
So Elixio made a contract with you, put you under my protection, essentially, without consulting me first. He's useful. He serves a purpose. I have no interest in displacing him at this time, even if I would have preferred to be consulted on such a matter. Like I said, these people have nothing to fear from me. You have nothing to fear from me. You're under my protection. I just wanted to get to know you a little more, since we apparently will be working together very closely for a long while. And he looks right at you, Pride, and then at Artemis, a very long while.
We'll see what tomorrow brings. So every day's a new day. So we can't really tell the future, can we? So we'll see what tomorrow brings.
Is that all?
Did we miss your fun fact, or did you forget in the excitement?
He is quite old.
Thank
Not
you
surprising.
for reminding me.
Oh.
Fun anecdote about myself. That strokes his beard a little bit. I have one. Yes, of course. I didn't always live here in Floros. I grew up in a little town called Aurora, much south from here. And when you grow up in Aurora, you learn quickly that the world is a hard place. And that if you don't look out for yourself, well, you're not going to survive. That's what I was taught, at least. And then, the funniest thing happened to me. I found myself in a corner, in a dark alley one night, being robbed myself. And who should come to my aid but this cur that I had been feeding scraps for quite some time. A soft spot I didn't tell anyone about. Well, this beast jumped, my attackers, and between the two of us, we beat them off. And that's when I learned that it's not your individual strength that makes you powerful. It's the people you help. It's the people you bring along with you. And that's what I'm doing here in Floros. I'm helping these people. I'm providing opportunities, jobs, trade, protection for them. And misguided or no, anyone who stands in the way of my people, well, my dogs will be on them too.
I was going
That's
to
my
ask at
fun
what
fact.
cost, though. At what
There is-
cost do you do this? So you just
There is no cost too high for my family.
How do you decide when people who were part of the family all of a sudden become chattel and are forced to work and taken from their homes?
We all do our parts for the greater good.
oh, the greater good. Okay.
So you also do not stay in your home and you do manual labor and are kept from seeing the sunlight.
For the greater good.
Because Grokus has been out in the streets helping people.
I've heard an admirable, if small-minded approach. You can help one person, yes, at a time, or you can help a whole city. There are different levels.
What are you trying to accomplish? This isn't like this. No competition with other people. What are you trying to accomplish?
No competition. No competition. How long have you been here? Have you not seen the way this city works? The inequities that there are on the different levels, the wealth, the power, the mayor parading around throwing fancy parties and balls while people down in the slums fight for and scrap for food, and he's like visibly growing more
And so you treat the
aggressive.
people at Griffin Hill just the same way? So what? You're going to try and do the same thing then? What do you think those people at Griffin Hills were going through when you had your men down there? They were just being kind and helpful, or for the greater good, they can be taken down. That brings
There
balance to the world.
are
You take them out.
sacrifices that need to be made.
Since when do people get written off as sacrifices?
Because they're all family, right?
The problem with socialism is that somebody still has to run the show. It is a nice concept, but who gets to play God? And how do we know that they are the best one to play God?
There is no perfection in this world. I am not a perfect dwarf. I've made many mistakes in my life. But, for better or worse, I am in charge. And it'll do you well to remember that. This has been, he slams the table kind of jovially, an enlightening conversation. Bartender, a round of drinks for my friends here. And he kind of scoots back, and there's a...
I will pray for your brother in Dwarvish. I will pray for you.
Kind of turns to you and goes, I almost remember what that tongue is. And
Your parents loved you. If you're still here.
Maybe.
And kind of, he actually like leans down to you, Peony, not threateningly, but kind of just as you would to someone who's sitting at a table. They loved me very much.
Do you remember that?
Until they never returned.
Maybe at some point we can talk more about Dwarvish matters. Maybe in the future. If you'd be
There's nothing to talk
down
about.
to
Our people were eradicated from this
Oh.
kingdom.
Have you researched at all? I mean, with all this part that you haven't tried to do, because I
How?
figured
There is
He's-
nothing to research. This is
Insight check. I would like to insight check this bitch right now.
okay.
And probably wants to keep him talking. How were they eradicated? I am a big reader and I have never heard of this.
I know not the details, only that some sort of infection killed them all, one by one. And I was lucky to have not been there when it happened. Inside check, what'd you get?
17 plus 6. 17 plus 6. 23.
He's attempting to exit this conversation as fast as he can.
He's not. So when he's like, I don't need to know more, what was that vibe? Was that like, I'm done with this conversation because I'm just tired of fucking talking? Or like, I'm uncomfortable with this information
He seemed
that somebody might know more than me?
He seemed surprised it went this direction. He seemed caught off guard a little bit that this is what was being talked about.
For someone in charge, you seem kind of out of the loop.
I'm in the loop with everything I need to be. My goings on here in Floros and my other places.
But not your
we have
people.
work.
But like I said, brother, maybe sometime we can spend some time talking about that if you can make time for it, because I think that's important too. At least it is to me, but maybe not to you. So that's fine.
I'll tell you what, my pious friend. I'll look at my schedule. Have a good evening, everyone. Enjoy your food and drink. We'll see you soon.
Have a balanced evening in Dwarvish.
It's been a pleasure.
I know it might be difficult for us to like guesstimate his age, having not been familiar with dwarves outside of Grokus, but like, can we make a rough guesstimate of how much older than Grokus he is?
Is he even older than me?
He appears to be. He has, so Grokus's beard is still, black.
Right.
His beard has gone gray.
Right.
Not white, but gray. There are deeper wrinkles in the corners of the eyes. There's still, he doesn't appear to be elderly by any stretch of the imagination. If Grokus was in his 40s or 50s, this man appears to be in his 60s.
Okay, that's what I was wondering, is like Grokus was like a elementary school age ish.
Little Grokus,
right? But like when your parents sent you somewhere to protect you, right? So that's what I was getting from. I am getting the impression from him he might be an angry, confused teenager, which I can absolutely relate to. But if his parents just left him somewhere when he was going through changes himself and in a time that is confusing, then perhaps it is actually a sore subject and something that we could use.
That's why I wanted to talk to him about it. But my beard is thicker, by the way. You can definitely see mine's thicker. Just saying.
Totally thicker.
It's lovely.
You can see this voluminous. Okay.
Grokus, you would know just from your own aging and everything like that there's not a one for one, like this 100 years is my teenage years, this 100 years is my 20s. Like there is an element of like, even though it's a little slower than humans, like, you're probably fully grown by the time you're 50.
But going with the price saying, since sometimes I was going with the price saying you can still be, when you get hurt at a certain age, you can still go back to that age, kind of like when it's like a big psychological stuff. But so he's just hurting people, hurt other people.
Right. Yeah. I'm not saying he is a teenager. I'm saying that like he's stuck in that mindset. Because that's when his world changed, right? So
where is Aurora? Do we know or have ever heard of it?
I was going to say,
it's west of the Saints Preserve, right?
Yes, it's down in the southwestern corner of the kingdom, near Ferrith, which holds some significance for being the town where the rifts 27 years ago began, or actually 29 years ago began. Malachite actually would jump in and tell some stories about the Realm Shield group that was down there in Ferrith and whatnot. So Aurora, Peony, and Pry. You probably are the most familiar with this for different reasons. Pry from reading, Peony because it's on the western side of the kingdom, as is the Axe and Head Woods, so you probably would have met travelers. Aurora has a bit of a reputation as a less than savory place. There's a lot of gambling. There's a lot of thieves. If there's a guild there, no one's quite sure. Is there a thieves guild there or something? It's kind of a rough and tumble area where people go to indulge in vices, as well as desperate people go for a last resort. for help.
Well, the geography and the milieu of the town makes sense for him to have been dropped off there while his parents were still in their senses before going underground.
You also know
I
it's
mean-
near the Wyvern Spine.
Right.
Yeah.
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 It's all like
Yeah.
near where the infection started, near where the capital supposedly is. Yeah.
I mean, I definitely would want to. I mean,
How
if you guys
far?
let me, I definitely want to talk to about it with if you guys would be okay with it sometime.
Yeah.
I just send him a sending.
I was gonna say I was gonna ask because I was like, Gross is like, we will send him like every day.
Oh, well,
Just like-
I am wondering,
How far is Floros from Aurora?
Far. Opposite
Like-
sides of the kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So like
yes,
a month travel at least.
yes, this idea of protection, he could even not think he is being bad or hurtful.
Oh, exactly. Yes.
Right. So I suppose addressing him and everyone around here now takes on a tone of deciding is he someone you want to redeem, or is he irreversibly bad? And how do we know that the people here, for the most part, are unhappy? Obviously they have done bad things and some people have been unhappy, but like, is this going to be us versus most of the town if we think he is bad and needs to be deposed? Or are there enough people who are being oppressed that we would not be flipping this old thing on its head?
You must forgive me, but I'm not thinking of it that deeply. I'm just more thinking about him himself. I mean, I do want to help the town to make sure they're not, being under any kind of thumb. But it's like you're saying, he thinks he's doing the right thing, but he can't be doing what he did to Crispin Hills. Like, no matter what good, that doesn't make up for that. And I'm not sure if he can be redeemed. I mean, anyone can find the balance again. That's definitely fine if they want to. It's a choice, but I don't know. And it's hard for me seeing another dwarf like that. So you have to forgive me.
It is understandable. I guess what I mean is, do you want to just offer him all of that information, or do you want to use it
It's
against
up to
him?
you guys. I mean, I
right?
just want to talk to him. So I don't think it's like, like that. You guys are much more inclined to help me with that because I just want to talk to him. But we're a group, we're a team. We give each other balance. So I'll definitely need help with figuring out that because I just want to, what Grogus would do. Like, I would just be up and open about it. I don't feel the need to keep secrets or use it as leverage or power. But
Do you
you
want
guys
to
won't.
do you want to try to save him or help him?
Yes, I mean that's even past my despite Ender, I still want to. I mean, I think just helping a fellow dwarf that may have just been misguided is off balance. Like, yes, just like would help any of you guys. I mean, if
I mean, how is there to save someone if even if he thinks which I don't know if I believe that he thinks that he's doing everything right perfectly. It might honestly just be verbiage and grandiose speak to cover up what he actually feels. But how do you save someone if it's
I mean,
I guess I don't know. Is it even saving someone, or is it just imposing how we feel about a situation onto someone who doesn't feel the same way and may never change how they think because that's his worldview?
I mean, I definitely understand that. I mean, we've dealt with quite a few people that hadn't changed, like Cartwright, which you brought up, and so the balance has to be kept. And sometimes that means taking out what's causing the biggest disruption. So.
But is he the biggest disruption if we've only been here for how long have we been here? Like 2 weeks?
I can only speak of Crispin Hills and people that were killed, people that were forced to do things they shouldn't have to have done to have their town ruined. That's the only thing I can speak of. And from seeing that's not
And
not right.
And all of the people there were unhappy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shaken down.
Oh, yeah, we were shaken down because
Yeah.
you got threatened in the. Oh
And
man.
Uranus, you would have even more context to this because you were living in Crispin Hills when Cartwright and his men arrived, and there were examples made. There were people who were beaten in the street in order to set a tone.
Yeah.
And people who were routinely shaken down and roughed up, and they're, for all of Brobat's words, that's not, this experience of protection and family was not something that you felt, or the people around you were certainly not saying that they felt that. Yeah.
Tell them,
Keep in
Uranus.
mind
Tell
that
them.
if someone shows you who they are, believe them.
So was that just the the lieutenant there, or was that Brobat's wishes?
It was Brobat's. We even had the letter from Brobat, where we found a letter from him, correct?
Yes. Yes, we did.
And he says, so he was lying then. So above tape, he was lying then about not doing Dwarvish because that letter was in Dwarvish, was it not? If I remember
Writing is
correctly.
different though than
The letter
spoken.
wasn't. The letter
Right.
was in Dwarvish, yes.
Okay.
Peony can read Dwarvish,
True. That's a
but
good point.
she had never heard it spoken.
Well,
I just think that this might be complicated.
Oh, absolutely. But
And
if some people are being shaken down or oppressed, but others are not, for instance, who told him we were here? And
I mean,
why?
the only other person we know, the only person we know that knows him is, I think, I'll message Daisy really
I
quickly.
don't think Daisy May is
I know.
snitching on us.
I don't think so either. But I'm gonna message if she might have known anything about it. Maybe.
Maybe.
If you-
But I
do you
mean,
guys-
ears this evening, right?
Yeah,
It could be
somebody
the
was
person
watching
at
us
the
and let him
door,
know that
the
we're here.
person who led us to our table, one of the Halfling performers,
So-
anyone in the audience.
Anyone on the streets too? I mean, like he says he has eyes, so we're probably being watched right now on both sides. How lovely. I'm just gonna retire. I'm just gonna retire to a Kirk church.
Mm-hmm. But yes,
Oh.
Grocus, I think if you do not want to try to help him, save him, redeem him, whatever, then you need to be very careful with the knowledge that we have.
Right. No, you're definitely right. The emotions get the best of me. Like I said, it's
I understand. But we don't want you to get hurt. And it sounds as if you have been his #1 target a few times.
Yes.
oh, he did try to get you try to take me
Help you.
try to kidnap because that's how family does. You just kidnap them. That's how
Apparently.
family works.
This family thing is bullshit.
Yeah.
And shameless plug, check out Crispin Hills. You want to see this whole unfold. You can watch it now. It's all
It's so
episodes
good.
Wow.
out. Anyways, yeah, so he's not as nice, not the nice dwarf that he kind of not the jovial dwarf he seems to be, at least not all the time.
then
But
to
Yeah.
prove topics, his hand was warm. I
Oh.
don't know.
Oh,
He's
he's-
definitely not.
he's on I can let the eyes go back up again. You can't see him mist over, get all white.
Do
Now those
we?
pics on camera. He's not undead, at least, so I don't think he's a dwarf. He's a vampire.
Do we
He's not undead.
still think that he is trying to
No,
find? No.
we did not think that because Elixir told us that Brobat did not know what he was doing.
Yep.
And Elixir does not seem to know what that thing makes because he wanted us to build a weapon. He was sure it was a huge weapon, right? So Brobat knows that the dwarves were eradicated by a disease, but he does not seem to know the details, or he did not let on that he does. And
I don't
Elixir
think he knows.
does not seem to know anything about why the dwarves are gone, and he does not know what those machines make.
I wonder if
We are not obligated to tell him because we found that out before we signed the contract.
indeed.
It's about
And it's
this
so silly.
time. It's about this time that the Goliath woman kind of approaches the table and just kind of gently puts a hand on the back of your chairs and goes, I'm so sorry, but we're going to be closing very soon. We're going to need you to
Oh,
close out your tab and, well, find other accommodations for the evening.
Thank you so much
you.
for the wonderful evening.
and the show was
Ron's gonna
fantastic.
Put down 2 gold from what he was given by the other patrons for the performance.
That's a start. Your
How
whole tab
much-
has come
yeah.
to 25 gold pieces
Oh,
with
I-
Mr. Grape Brew's parties tab.
I can take care of that.
not very great if you ask me. I said moment on Dorish.
All right. Well, thank you all so much. Have a wonderful night. We hope to
Have
see
a
most of
balanced
you here
evening.
again at the Halfling's Luck. Unfortunately, my friend, and she turns towards you, Uranus. Unfortunately, for business reasons, we will not be accommodating any more performances or appearances by yourself here at the Halfling's Luck.
Fair. I mean, you say that now, but come next week when your patrons are asking for another show,
My God.
we'll see what
I will
happens.
pass that along to the owners of the establishment.
I'm sure you will. Uranus is going to give her a wink and walk out.
Okay.
You don't put down 2 gold? You guys take it out of the team fund.
Yeah, no, I pay out of my personal money, the
Oh,
tab,
man.
and then I'll give her 5 gold tip.
Well, thank you so much. Appreciate that. All right, so you all are just outside. It is dark. People are starting to head home to various places or various inns. What's your plan for the evening? Are you finding some place to sleep or have other things you're doing tonight?
So,
I
he does
think
not do. Okay.
I was going to say, I think we get ready to go down the mine. At the very least, it's information that neither of them seem to have,
Mhm.
which we could trade information or anything, really. I don't know. It depends on what we learn down there.
Remember that we want to try to keep information compartmentalized if we can.
Yes.
Mhm.
Only crumbs.
Crocus gets to put together all of the pieces.
Oh, that's
I'm sorry to saddle you with this, but
it's fine. Like with that, and your guys is on my back, like have my back. So literally, guys have my back now too. So I'm not worried about it. And tonight's still a good night. Is what I just want to say. I mean, what happens? We still have the rest of the night. So whatever happens, then we have each other. If the weather's not too bad, we have some place we can stay. So, but yeah, I'll do the best I can do. And with you guys have my back, like I'm not, and I'm not worried at all. We'll keep the balance.
Wait until the construct gets there tomorrow.
Oh,
and then
yes.
go
What
down.
time? What time? I'll probably say super early. I'll probably tell them like it'd be like really early.
You were kind of guessing that he would be here sometime the next afternoon. So no, he wouldn't be arriving in the middle of the night or anything like that.
I'm still gonna get there like super early, just to make sure we'll be there like 2 hours before.
So are you all going to the mine and sleeping there, or are you going back to one of the inns or something?
I mean, if we go to the mine and sleep, then we can have more conversation without being worried about
we can
anything.
watch.
Yeah,
For
Penny's
sure.
going back to the
Let's
mine
go.
anyways.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
we
if
gotta
we go
feed.
down
We
into
gotta
the
feed
mine
Odie.
and
We gotta
to the
feed
bottom of
Odie.
the mine, we're gonna know
Oh,
who's
yeah.
watching us.
Yeah.
You can't hide that much.
How are we getting this thing? Are we putting it in the mine, or are we getting it inside?
That is the hope. How we accomplish
Oh,
that.
because it can it's actually made to climb walls. If you remember Uranus and Artemis, it was actually on the ceiling. I think when we
We'd have
first
to
saw
get
it,
it started up
closed.
first, but we can bring the.
If it can climb
Peaceful,
walls,
but-
can we use it to climb all the way down the pit?
Oh,
Ooh.
It could ferry us, I'm sure.
But we never figured out how to control it. Someone rolled too badly, whatever that means. I mean,
but knowing that at least some of the townsfolk are reporting to the Three Blades, how are we going to keep this thing a secret until it is inside the mine?
Ooh, we're because he's gonna drop it off really far away at the forest, so maybe um I mean,
Do you,
if we have a wagon, right? So if I can cover it up pretty well, it can just be another piece for another piece for the
uh,
mine, just
they
like a
might
little piece.
I mean,
shed
they are knowing going to know we got something
You're gonna know we got
huge, I
and
something.
imagine. Yes.
Are they always there at
Okay.
night? I can't remember. Or the late at night when we go, is there usually still people that check us in at this late, or no?
The
I can't
mines.
remember.
Disguise myself as someone and bring the thing to the mine.
Cool.
That could
So
work.
maybe they don't associate it with us.
Well, at midnight, is there anyone still like around like super late? Is
Yeah,
there?
so over the last week, you've had a chance to kind of observe the normal comings and goings. And whereas before, because they weren't sure where you were and like if you were lost down there, they had been leaving people, mostly Patrick being forced to stay there and watch the door, essentially. Standard operating procedure is no, there's not like a guard on duty all the time. The mine closes up and everything, all the tools are put away and people go home. So there's normally at midnight or whatnot, there's nobody around.
So
oh,
what if
they
I
could
what if I brought it by at night, like, and I'll come from somewhere farther off, and I can bring the package, whatever it may be. I always bring in.
Well, is he going to drop it at Crispin Hills is south of here? Yes. So the mine is on the northern edge of the town, so it is going to have to go through or around.
Malachi kind of chimes in. Well, assuming that like I just need to insert this part in there, we could meet them on the south side, and again, assuming everything works, I could fix it up. We could take control of it there, and then whether we try to sneak it through or go around the city, or we
Would
could
that
have him, or we could cover it up with canvases and just try to drive it through town.
or could
I
could
bet
I could I message Gold to maybe see if he can just go around a little bit? Like, is there a way to message Gold like if there's possible to see?
Yeah.
Like, I'll message that day up, see if there's possible to kind of go around.
Yeah, so you get a message back from him like, Grokus.
Oh no, I know I
mean-
have no phone etiquette, so calling at 2 a.m. What up?
You don't have to keep introducing yourself. I know it's you.
Oh, oops.
I can go around, but it'll take some extra time. Be there tomorrow evening.
Oh,
That
that's
works.
That works.
that's
Yeah.
perfect. I mean, have a Grokus signing out. Have a good night.
Okay, signing out.
Just- Good talking. Have a balanced day. Click.
But you
I hope
say,
he
like,
says click, yeah.
It does.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
So we can bring it around later, so that way.
Then we're just right there. Yeah.
Perfect.
Wait until it's dark and then into
Oh
the
my
mine.
god, we're gonna have our first dwarvish machine. That's like people. Oh my god, that's nuts! I can't believe it. It's like a piece of history almost at this point.
So then do we head back to the mine to sleep for the night?
I think so.
Sleepover at the mine with OT.
all right. Well, you all head back to the mine. You find lodgings there. Do you all sleep kind of in the same place, or do you go into the bunk areas? Like, what's your normal thing that you've been doing over this last week?
Gross wants to make everyone together, so he'll try to convince everyone to be together no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely together. It feels
Yeah.
kind of like eerie to think about sleeping in the bunks, though, right?
Yeah.
Like,
So,
Yeah.
After we read about them.
yeah.
Yeah.
well, there's plenty of space in the forge itself to pitch a little lean-to or tent or sleeping bags or whatnot. It's
Oh.
fairly consistent climate. in there.
Do we have the log? We can do like old
you have the
times.
log?
Oh,
We do like old
yeah.
times.
Yes.
Can all our heads fit on the log? How long?
No, just one person would be on the log. Who's gonna sleep on the log?
Like,
Peonies
Peony.
Peeing on
would be
the log.
unstoppable.
oh my gosh, nothing surprising anybody. Oh man, that log.
Amazing. All right. Well, you all head to sleep, waiting for the next day, and the arrival of Gull with the large construct for you to put back together again. And in the middle of
Don't
the
say
night,
it.
Peony, you hear the little chirp of a bird in your ear.
What?
Sit up
What?
Grokus,
quietly.
what is your AC when you're not wearing your armor?
Who's AC?
Yours.
Yours.
What the fuck?
Shit,
What
bro.
the fuck?
Peony
What the
definitely
fuck?
sleeps in armor.
What the fuck?
If you sleep in armor, you're
Um,
not getting the full benefit of a full rest.
Then
At least
my-
light armor?
Not plate armor.
Yeah.
Even leather armor.
Not plate armor. I think leather armor you can sleep in.
Yeah, in light armor.
Peony's,
Yeah.
Peony's in
10.
leather.
That's fine.
10, 10, 10,
10?
10. Because no
Okay.
scale, no armor or shield.
Okay. Peony,
Mm-hmm.
you sit up and your eyes dart left and right, and you look
I'm
over
so
the
glad
party,
we used the log.
and then you just watch as Grokus's body racks and convulses as if something has hit it and caused it to flail, but you don't see anything there. Grokus, you're going to take...
I don't like this.
Grokus, wake up.
I see you like
I think
Grokus,
Yeah.
Grokus, you take 20 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Can I cast fairy fire?
At the start of next session, you can.
Oh my god. What?
no.
No.
Dude.
Way to
what?
go, guys. We haven't used the log in forever.
Well, I
It didn't
also
Oh my god.
I
God
even
damn it.
I think alert feat also helps me.
Yeah,
Can't be
alert
surprised.
It's while you're conscious.
Yeah.
while you're
yeah,
conscious.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, without the log, you would not have known that that was about to happen. So,
Amazing.
yeah. Also, for anyone who would like to keep it a secret, you can remove your headphones now because I have a little epilogue for the audience.
Oh.
Oh God! Yeah.
What the fuck?
I don't know. Well, okay,
Oh my
no, wait.
God.
I want to hear this. I'm gonna hear it
I
later.
actually
It's
wanna
your
hear it.
choice. It's your choice.
Okay.
Through the alleyways, heavy footsteps fall as Brobat Great Brew makes his way back down from the Halfling's Luck down to the lower shelf where his abode is. As he walks solitary under the moonlight until, stepping out of the shadow, one figure joins him, and then another, until 4 or 5 different people are walking just silently in step with him, keeping their eyes on a swivel as he just walks through town, sometimes humming a little bit, sometimes whistling. And finally he gets back to the black door, where standing there is a blue-haired gnome who's kind of sitting outside the door whittling on something, and he kind of stands up at attention and kind of comes over and just almost looks at Brobat but doesn't quite look him in the eye. Boss, is it a go? Send the word out. One for the halfling. One for the dwarf, too. Yes, boss. And the black door opens, and Brobat enters, and then it closes as the blue-haired gnome scurries off into the night. And we're back.
What the fuck did you say, Andrew?
All right. Well, that concludes our session this evening. We'll pick back up with the casting of Fairy Fire.
I am so salty.
What is
I'm
happening?
so salty.
Why?
Oh my god.
What the fuck, Andrew?
Fucking 20 points of bludgeoning damage. How much HP
many hit
do you
points do
have?
you
Is that
have?
like half
all
of your
good.
HP?
It's not. I'm not mad at the HP match from Goddess of the Night. Like, it balances. It's fine. We'll get balanced. Like, it's gonna be fine.
Well, we'll find out what happens here next time on the First Watch. In the meantime, thanks everybody so much for watching and being a part of our story. Please let us know what your thoughts were, your favorite moments, and we'll see you next time.